everybody, it's Bruce. Welcome to my channel, Bruzy, and today is March 24th. It's a Monday and I'm currently out of work still, and I actually chose to park and walk around my home city. It's supposed to be going to be 80 degrees, so, and not a cloud in sight. So I took the opportunity to just do some pondering, just some mindless walking, and some people watching, because it's not good to be in my room all day, so it's good to be surrounded by people who have goals. So I guess for the topic of today's video is setbacks, what to do in the event you have a setback. So just to put it into more detail, in my situation, this is not the first time I had to go on medical leave. It's actually the second time in 4 months, and I'm not doing too much when I'm on medical leave, and what I'm thinking about the entire time is what I could be doing, or all the things I could have done in that span of time. And I think that mindset is sort of negative, because I think when you start to picture your human life, you have many decades where you're always doing something, or you're constantly working towards a goal, and wherever you find the opportunity to take a break is really important. So even the unscheduled breaks, like being injured or medical leaves, you have to embrace the moment, and that's what I'm trying very hard to do. I don't know, close your eyes and take some deep breaths. Deep breaths right now is actually good for my lung collapses, because it helps exercise the tissues within the lungs, especially the tissues that develop scars on them from the constant bursting of the blebs. And taking those deep breath exercises is good for the mind and the body, and you start to just do away with any of those bad thoughts, or intrusive thoughts, or anything that comes to your mind. It just goes away for the moment. And I guess the more you breathe, the slower your heart rate goes down, and the less heartbeats you incur, the longer your longevity becomes, because there's like a scientific correlation between your heart beats and like your life. The faster your heart beats, your heart wears down quicker, and your lifespan gets shorter. So minimize the rapid heartbeats, whether it may be anxiety, or being out of shape, or just being constantly overwhelmed by something. And that in turn makes you age much slower, and you might get a few extra years, some extra yardage or mileage within your own body. So even though I do have this medical leave, as long as I'm okay about it, as long as I'm all right, then it's really nothing to worry about. It's really a moment to actually embrace. You just gotta accept it. You gotta just make do. So I guess another topic to go over is I'm actually a few steps away from my old workplace, the place I had interned, actually, the San Jose City Hall. If you Google it, this is big, tall, rectangular building with a giant dome, rotunda in front of it. It's actually one of the more famous buildings in the Bay Area, because of how architecturally interesting it looks, purely just by the dome. I mean, if you don't have the dome there, then it's just kind of a bland building, but the dome adds a lot of flavor to it. It's a good memory for down the line when I continue my public service, just to look back at where it all started, and maybe potentially one day I may end up back there. It's my home city. But we'll see with the cost of living and the rent prices and the price to own a home in San Jose, California. Sort of not likely at the moment, if at all. I want to take a brief moment to just talk about like what's been on my mind about the last relationship. Even though it's been 6 months now being apart, breaking up, I've been reading a lot of subreddits and posts and blogs about potentially ever seeing my ex again. And it's such a crazy thought, because there is a non-zero chance, right? If I were to bump into her on the street, I don't know, my neighborhood, well, there's public transit, right? Buses, trains. And I'm not too sure what would happen or what could occur. Maybe I would just give a blank stare simply because I've anticipated this moment and it happened, or I'm giving a blank stare because I would not feel anything, or I would also, stare because I don't know of how peculiar the situation is. But I wouldn't stare for too long. But it really depends on the context, like 6 months, right? That's sort of too soon. A year, much, a little bit more distance from the situation. 5 years, then I hope I have matured as a person in 5 years, and maybe she will too, as human beings. Then maybe the approach would be a little bit more different, as in, I have not seen you in so long. If it's okay, maybe we could just talk, or just talk about how things have been, in 5 years. 5 years to a decade, maybe. By then, there would be so many different events, so many millions of things that have happened then, that we would simply be different people. So I just wonder, at what point in my life will I ever physically see my ex? I don't know. I'll just be like, and then go on about my day. I have plans to see a lot of concerts, artists, and other amenities that the Bay offers, because there's so many artists and they all come to the Bay Area because it's a big market. So I need to see all of these different things, see some opera, see some musical, I don't know, raves, I don't know, just do whatever I need to do, And I guess to top it off with this video, I'll ask you guys, do you like the format of just yapping? I should probably title it something like a yap session, but it really helps take my mind off of things once I've said them. It's kind of like a diary or a journal. But let me know what your thoughts are, if this is a good content series, because I can mix it up. I've always been mixing up my content and experimenting. So yeah, all this talking does make me pretty hungry. So I'll see you guys in a future video, and have a good and awesome day. And yeah, later.